You are actively validating a deep subconscious narrative.
The belief that you're not worth the higher fee.
You're reinforcing the very scarcity you're trying to escape.
Have you ever had that feeling? You are absolutely certain of the massive value you deliver. I mean, maybe you save your clients hundreds of hours, or you unlock six-figure revenues for them, but then it comes time to quote your fee.
And your voice just shrinks.
It shrinks. A little voice inside just panics. Or you find yourself hedging.
Or immediately offering a discount you didn't even plan on.
Exactly. An immediate, totally unnecessary discount.
That feeling, that specific moment, is what our source materials today define as the undervaluation trap. And for this deep dive, we're taking a really counterintuitive approach. We're not just defining this as a pricing or sales problem. It's a deeper question of internal alignment. It's rooted in what we're calling a low-set self-concept.
Right. So our mission today is to cut through all that noise and give you a shortcut. We're going to use something called the identity shift framework to prove that your current pricing ceiling isn't about market rates.
No, not at all. It's not about spreadsheets.
It's about your deepest beliefs, about what you actually deserve.
We're aiming for a paradigm shift here. One that could, honestly, enable you to double your fees simply by shifting who you believe you are.
Who you are in relation to the market.
Yes, this isn't just strategy. This is about establishing genuine authority and real conviction in your value statement.
Okay, so let's unpack how this actually works.
When we talk pricing, the knee-jerk reaction for most entrepreneurs is to grab a spreadsheet, right?
You analyze competitors, calculate costs, the usual.
But the fundamental premise of this framework is crystal clear. Pricing has to be treated as an identity challenge first. If you skip that internal work.
The numbers on the spreadsheet will always feel flimsy.
Exactly. And if you only look at the numbers, you fall into this destructive, really exhausting cycle.
What are the symptoms of that?
Oh, you see them everywhere.
Oh,
Constantly lowering your price to close a deal, offering these massive margin-killing discounts.
We're just attracting clients who drain you and always question the cost.
Yes, and the research is clear that this isn't just financially draining. When you do that, when you drop your prices or concede on your worth, you are actively validating a deep subconscious narrative.
The belief that you're not worth the higher fee.
You're reinforcing the very scarcity you're trying to escape.
That validation loop, that's the critical piece. And what's fascinating is that this isn't some abstract spiritual idea.
No, not at all. It's actually hardwired into your brain. It relies on a very specific neurological mechanism.
Okay, here is where the science really grounds all of the self-concept work. The materials point specifically to something known as the reticular activating system, or the RAS.
The RAS.
And this isn't just theory. Understanding the RAS helps us realize how we are, unconsciously sabotaging our own financial growth.
The RAS is your brain's ultimate filtering system. It's running 24/7, nonstop. Think about it. You're bombarded with information sites, sounds, data, conversations. Your brain can't possibly process all of it.
It would be complete overload.
Right. So the RAS's job is to decide what information is vital for your current reality and what can just be ignored. It looks for patterns and evidence that validate your deepest internal beliefs.
So if your internal blueprint, what the framework calls your high-level identity set point, is currently calibrated for, say, earning $5,000 per client, what happens?
Well, if that set point is low, the RAS adapts to that reality. It will relentlessly filter your world for opportunities, for conversations, and for clients that only validate that financial truth.
So it's trying to keep you congruent with your own belief system.
Even if that system is limiting you.
Exactly. Can you give us a more tangible example? How does this actually show up in a business? It sounds like self-sabotage, but, invisible.
It is invisible self-sabotage. If your RAS believes you are a $5,000 earner, you will become, and I mean this literally, blind to the $25,000 opportunities.
Blind how?
You might unconsciously skip the networking event where all the high-level clients are gathering. Or you might draft a fantastic proposal for a major contract, but because of that internal misalignment, you delay sending it until the deadline passes.
Wow.
Your brain is screening out anything that contradicts your internal truth because it just sees it as irrelevant noise.
That is genuinely unsettling. The idea that our own brain is actively hiding high-level opportunities from us. It's like a self-imposed financial scarcity.
That's a perfect way to put it.
So we aren't lacking clients. We're lacking the internal programming to even perceive them.
Precisely. If you're struggling to find high-end clients, it is very rarely a market problem. It's an internal congruence issue where your identity is set low and that manifests externally as lower revenue.
Yeah.
You only attract what aligns with your subconscious.
Okay, so if the problem is rooted in our identity, then the solution has to involve a massive reframing of how we even view our service.
It does.
And the key insight here, the thing that starts the shift, is this. The client is not paying for your time.
Or your effort. Or your process.
They are paying for energetic certainty. They are paying for the quantifiable transformation you guarantee.
That certainty is everything. When a client hands over a significant amount of money, they are not paying for the hours you spend working. They are paying for you to confidently take them from point A, which is the struggle, to point B, the success. That conviction you have, that is the product.
And the price immediately signals your level of conviction.
Absolutely. Pricing low, it signals a lack of certainty in the offer. And prospective clients feel that immediately. They might be a dormant buyer, but they're looking for a confident solution. Low pricing invites negotiation and doubt.
Whereas high pricing,
when it's delivered with total conviction, signals unshakable authority. High-level buyers buy certainty. They don't buy commodities.
I really appreciate that the source material includes a personal story here, an illustration of this moment of internal conflict, because it's easy to talk about high vibration energy.
But what does it actually feel like when you realize you're out of alignment?
Right.
Yeah, the anecdote shared was about an entrepreneur who was blending high-level coaching with strategic business consulting. And even with proven massive results, they felt what they called a confusing, foggy signal whenever they had to quote their fees.
A foggy signal.
Yeah. Their core financial goals, like massive time freedom, were being completely contradicted by this deeply held belief that success had to come from working hard for less money.
So that internal conflict was just paralyzing the external delivery of the price. The energy they needed to command that higher fee was being canceled out.
By the belief that money had to be earned through struggle. That is the entire crux of the identity shift. The insight was realizing that to achieve time freedom and higher revenue, they had to actively let go of that specific self-limiting belief.
The idea that value equals hours worked.
Exactly. They needed to establish harmonious financial goals that supported their core values, not conflicted with them. And the sources say once that belief was released, the new higher fee felt immediately and completely aligned.
That shifts the whole discussion. It goes from what should I charge to who do I need to be to authentically embody this charge.
That is the psychological requirement, yes.
Yeah.
But, and this is important, to make this identity shift actually stick, we need to anchor it in something concrete.
Something the RAS can't deny.
Something it can't deny because it relies on proof.
Okay, wait a minute, though. If this is truly an identity and conviction challenge, why do we even need an ROI calculation? Isn't the spiritual and psychological work enough? It feels a little like a contradiction, using this high-level identity to demand the price, but then backing it up with hard logic.
That's a really essential question. And the reason is twofold. First, to defeat your own internal doubt. Like you said, the RAS needs proof. And second, the client needs justification. High-level buyers, they require both the confidence of the seller and a logical reason that justifies their investment.
Okay, I see. So we're building a fortress of certainty.
Using both emotional and intellectual components, yes.
Oh, that makes sense. So we've established the internal requirement for congruence. Now, how do we give that congruence a solid foundation that can withstand a practical objection?
We do that by moving definitively past the common myth of the hourly rate. We calculate your true value based on the client's quantifiable success. And this is done through the proven formula, the return on investment, or ROI.
Anchoring your pricing in their success. That lets you stop calculating based on your own fear and start relying on objective logic.
It does.
So walk us through how that audit works, maybe with a couple of different types of value.
Sure. Let's start with a pure time-saving example.
Yeah.
This is common in B2B consulting. Let's say your service costs the client, $7,000.
Okay.
But it automates a process that saves their team 15 hours of highly specialized work every week. And let's say that time is valued conservatively at $150 an hour.
Over a year, that's a lot.
Over a year, that's $117,000 saved for the client. Your ROI is over 16 times. The $7,000 becomes a negligible operating cost.
You just reframed a $7,000 fee not as a purchase, but as a mandatory internal efficiency upgrade. That's a powerful way to put it.
Now, let's consider a case where the value is revenue generation.
Okay.
Say your high-ticket coaching helps the service provider overhaul their sales process. It leads to them landing just one large contract worth $75,000. If your fee was $10,000, the ROI is 7.5 times.
And not just that one time.
Right.
Yeah.
You've increased their competence, which means that $75,000 win impacts their entire future revenue stream. Their lifetime value, their LTV, has gone up dramatically.
So what about the less quantifiable services? Things like, I don't know, personal development or wellness coaching, where the ROI isn't an explicit cash game.
We still have to anchor it in a tangible outcome. Let's say your program costs $3,000 and it helps a busy executive resolve chronic anxiety. This leads to better sleep, renewed focus. You are selling them time, energy, and peace of mind.
Okay, but how do you quantify that?
Well, if that improved focus leads to them making better decisions that avoid a single $30,000 business error, or if it frees up 5 hours a week of mental energy they can now give to their family, that emotional ROI is priceless. You anchor the price in the cost of not solving the problem.
The price is the cost of staying stuck at point A.
Exactly.
So when the price is anchored not in what we put in, but in the massive, measurable transformation the client receives, whether that's financial, time, or emotional, the money just becomes a simple transactional detail.
It completely shifts the focus away from our personal worthiness and onto their gain.
And that calculated ROI gives you the logical conviction you need to cement the identity shift.
It does.
Yeah.
And once you have both the internal alignment and the external logic, you arrive at the crucial moment, the statement of value itself. You have to speak your price from the perspective of the millionaire entrepreneur.
From the person who knows the result is guaranteed.
Yes. And this requires a new script, one that carries the weight of all that conviction and congruence.
The source materials emphasize practicing this, right? This ultimate authority script until it feels completely natural.
Absolutely. It's designed to immediately frame the fee as a strategic decision.
So what is the script?
It's powerful, you say. The investment for the Complete Your Offer Name program is your new price, because that is the price of the certainty and transformation I provide. The expected ROI for you is state their expected ROI.
So you could say, for example, a 10x return on revenue, or 5 hours of time saved per week.
Exactly.
The psychological shift is baked right into the language. That word investment is key.
It's everything.
You are not charging them. They are investing in a certain quantifiable outcome that you guarantee with your energy and authority. It shifts the whole dynamic from negotiation to transaction.
And that practice is non-negotiable. The sources recommend saying this phrase out loud 50 times. Until the words feel completely congruent, until they physically vibrate with conviction.
This isn't just memorization, this is recalibrating your RAS.
You're installing the new operating system. You are teaching your brain that this new high financial truth is now the default.
Because if you feel the congruence, the RAS believes it, the self-doubt just vanishes, and the client will feel that certainty in your voice and in your energy.
Absolutely. Remember, the undervaluation trap is just a default program running in the background of your consciousness, constantly filtering for scarcity. You have the power, the identity, to delete that program.
By installing the new high-level operating system, the ultimate goal here then is to realize that the price tag is just a measurement of your internal alignment. The aim isn't just to get money, it's to become the energetic match for high-level flow and abundance.
Making high-fee clients magnetically attracted to your certainty.
Right.
So here is the final provocative thought for you to consider today, building on everything we've talked about. If the goal is not to chase money, but to achieve that high-level flow and internal conviction, what is the highest level financial conflict or limiting belief, the most fundamental program running in your background that you are willing to let go of right now to align your financial goals with your true core values?
That deliberate release.
That deliberate release is the quantum leap you are waiting for.
So when Gina offered me the opportunity to do this, I jumped for it because I think anything that you can do that is going to chip away at these limiting the beliefs of things that hold you back is really, really worth doing. So it's been a really lovely experience, and if anybody's a bit worried about it, just do it, because the opportunity to connect through havening is really, really powerful. It's really, really powerful.
But really helpful, I think, in terms of having that kind of guided process just to kind of let the ideas and the feelings and the images flow, and then try and work out what it actually means afterwards, and to come up with And it made intuitive sense. It's really, really helpful to then kind of have that debrief of, okay, what can we actually do with this stuff? Because that's where we tend to get stuck, is kind of like coming out of it going, oh, this is all some really interesting ideas and thoughts and feelings and images. But yeah, then, you know, how can we actually harness them to do something different? And I think that's been really, really helpful in terms of clarifying really what I need to prioritize to go forward in a way that will deal with some of that stuff that came up.
I would like to point out that I'm actually a therapist myself, and sometimes therapists also need a therapist. So I was really stuck, and then one day a friend posted a link for Gina's wealth and money attracting short course, and I went, this sounds great, I'm just gonna book it. And I loved it so much. I really had an epiphany on that course, and it was only meant to be a demonstration, and yet it was really it just opened up something, possibilities that I was stuck before, and now like, ooh, I can use this to unstuck myself. I'm a great believer that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And you appeared at the right time. That's all there is to it. So, you know, if anybody is watching this video, it means Gina has appeared in your life. So please give it a try.
She walks where the sky meets the sea, a calm in the chaos.